Wow. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome to monthly gift Zoom. And I'm sorry, monthly kind of became like 29th of July. Hey, but we at least covered it in the month. Um, as if you know me and as you will get to know me, you'll know that I'm just very weird about sticking with time in that way. I'd like to make it to meetings on time, but when it's about like, okay, we should do this on this date, like over and over and over and again, I kind of can't. And I don't know how many of you are like that, and how many of you were actually ever made wrong for that, and how many of you actually make you wrong for that. What if you don't have to make you wrong for it? And what if that is your awareness of consciousness showing you the way? Because most of the times and actually that's what we were talking about before the call. Like we had this embodiment book club that we announced, I think sometime in June, early June. But it was so funny. Like the energy of the class, like a lot of us when we create a class, like we like to talk to the energy of the class. And like, and a lot of times it was like, no, not this date, not this date. I would announce a date and then no, not this date. So we kept postponing, and we had like people signed up. And then eventually, like as I kept postponing it and people had signed up and paid for it, I gave the participants, hey guys, I'm sorry, this is getting postponed and I really don't know when the actual date's going to show up. Would you like a refund? And the participants were like, no, like don't do a refund, we're still going to show up. And that was so amazing. So we just kept going. And it was so funny that with this embodiment book club, uh, the energy that really the conversation it really looked like was the structural cohesion conversation that Gary and Dane came up with. Sorry, I'm just putting on D&D on my phone. Yeah, that Gary and Dane came up with on the 7 day that just happened in July. And after that, like the conversation about embodiment started opening up. So it's like embodiment is basically a book that was written by Dr. Dane here, and we're doing a book club on it. But the way I like to do book clubs is not just read the material from the book or stick to the topic. I like to use the latest tools that are available. So even some of these books are written about 10 years ago. I like to use the latest tools that are available to get us beyond a particular conversation and topics, what else is possible. So really, like, can I ask you guys, like, what do you know about letting consciousness show you the way? And how much normality are you trying to use? Because others, it's like this reality does control, right? Because that's why it's all about result, showing you the result, and or going for the result, or you have to show others the result. But this is what happens with the result when you go for a result. And Gary just recently posted that if you, instead of going for result, why don't you go for change? Because when you do change, then it's there is no definition with it. So are you willing to let consciousness change, create change, without having been invested in what it should look like, without controlling it, when it should look like, where it should show up in your life and where not, or how it should show up and what should show up and who should show up and through whom you can receive change and through someone else you can't receive. And by the way, here's another thing about when you decide through whom you can receive change. Okay, so suppose for example, some people will go like, okay, like they like doing a class with me, and and it's like through me they can receive change. Okay, but when you or okay, through Gary you can receive change, or through Dane you can receive change. Okay, but what happens is when you decide that through this person I can receive change, guess who do you exclude? You.
Yourself.
Yes, you exclude you, because you want to be able to receive change from you as well, right? And all the time. So everywhere you are making someone else the source of change, who, what, when, where, why, how are you creating your life based on who, what, when, where, how should change look like for you, rather than be the change that you desire in your life. Everything that doesn't allow that. Times of Godzilla, can you put it all right and wrong, good, bad, hot and pop, all nine shots, boys and beyonds. Yeah, and so, and here's another thing, like about control, like a lot of people think that, oh, I mean, the minute you say control, everybody goes into, I don't do control, or I hate control, I don't want to do control, or I don't like being controlled. Guess what are these? How many of these are basically your resistance and reactions to control? What if you didn't have to make control wrong? And then you can try to see where control is not working for you, because none of this is about, what if everything actually is a, even procrastination, right, where you do things and not following the schedule or something, where you have a hard time sticking with schedule, or if um, but the thing is, like, what if all of these are tools? What if instead of trying to make it wrong for you, instead of going like, okay, this is not how I should have that, but be willing to use it where it's required. Be willing to be known as, if be willing to be known as a control freak, but also be willing to be seen as someone who can't be controlled. What if you have the flexibility to be seen as either or both? So now I want to talk about images. Then we'll talk more about that in the embodiment book club, like image, because body has a lot to do with image. But really, like, how many images, like image is a conversation that again, like, we're talking a lot about in access. Is about I remember, like, a few months ago I realized that when where yeah, I mean, I was meeting some people after a while, since COVID and since a few changes in my own life. But what was funny was, when I was interacting with them, they were not really talking to me. They were like, there was this energy of where they were talking to an image they had of me. Now, the image that they had of me could have been something, maybe they thought I was very brainy, or maybe they thought I was very shrewd, or they thought that I am very reserved. But whatever that was an image of me. That's not who I truly was. But for them, it was about interacting with that image that they had of me rather than talk to me. So how many people do you know who are like that with you, who are not really being present with you, but being present with the image? And then also the other thing is, with image that we do is like, we try to go into other people's worlds. Yeah, that's our capacity. And this is kind of where we use a capacity with a little bit of unconsciousness, because it's a brilliant capacity, but what if you can use that capacity not as a disability but as an ability? But we try to use that capacity. So we use our capacity to get into people's world, to find out what they require of us, what image they have of us, so we can deliver it. If they always want, if there is someone who always wants me to be sweet and nice, then I enter into their world, I get that image that they have of me, and then I will always be sweet and nice to them. If they have, oh, am I sounding a bit distant? Okay, give me 1 second. Thank you for that. Let me try the headphones. Is this now better? Better? Okay. Is it better or much better?
Much better.
Oh, very good. Thank you. All right. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I was talking about the part where, you do image, where you go into people's world to see what image they have of you. And then, once you get a sense of that, then you deliver based on that image. Okay. So if they have, but then where is you in that? So, and meanwhile, guys, if you have any questions about anything, please raise your hand, or send a message in the chat, or just unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay. So if you, so the thing is, like, so I would just like to do this one quick clearing here with image. So who, what, when, where, why, how have you decided you have to be, that always keeps you from being you, that you truly be? Everything that is times a godzillion. Can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, all nine shows, boys and beyonds. Because image
kind of, and it's not like, how many of you, or how many people do you know who have an idea that sometimes they are like, you know what, my image is better. Sorry, my image is better than who I truly am. Okay. Can say turning DND on laptop. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, yeah, like with the image, it's like, okay, the image that people have of me is much better than who I truly am. How many of you have that? How many people do you know who have that? And then we're seeing that. Everything that brings up times a godzillion, can we please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay. Do you guys have any questions?
I had a question about the image thing
Yeah.
that you're talking about. Is it the same as projection?
Not really. Image is basically, yeah, projection is what people project at you. Image is what people think about you, see you
Okay.
as. So see you as. So let's say, like in a work environment, like, people will see a woman and then they will have an image of a woman being so and so, or I love that. Some kids went like, yeah, probably a girl who's like, yeah, people are already seeing me as a girl and they're not seeing me as me, but like gender, like how many people do images based on just gender, and how many people do images based on gender and then religion and then nationality. Like if you're a Muslim from Pakistan, it's a different image. If you're a Muslim from India, it's a different image. If you're a Muslim from Lucknow, it's a different image. If you're a Muslim from Bombay, it's a different image. Right. So already like so many images there. Right. And then it's then, okay, if you have a degree or if you were raised in a certain in a certain way, or, it's like that's how the images are. Projections are basically what people will project at you, and yes, they kind of go hand in hand with respect to image and projection, but image is different. So yeah, any questions, anything coming up for anyone?
Is it like visualizing image? Is it visualizing? I mean, you visualize, you send a message to that person, and that person, we vibrate according to what we want to send the message to that person. And
Yeah. So now when you do that, when you send a message to a person, so you're doing a telepathic communication basically, right? And it's an energetic communication. Are you it's kind of like, are you visualizing it, or are you already being the energy of the message you want to communicate? First of all, you're being the energy of the message, right? So that's where you're being it. Okay. So visualization is not about an image unless like somebody has a fixed visual of how they would like certain things to be, then that means they have decided an image. Okay. But when you're doing an energetic communication with someone, and an energy is our first language. All right. So it's like, and that's the thing. It's like, that's a language you use even with your body to communicate. That's a language your body uses to communicate with you. So when you do energetic communication, even before you get to visualization of it, you actually be the energy. And that is what communicates. And that always communicates, because how many times do you know when people say something, but they are not being it? Yeah, that's because they're not being what they're speaking, even though they're communicating through words, not just energetically. Yeah. So that is when you're being that. Yeah. Does that help, Usha?
yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Cool. And anything coming up for people? And I can go on and on, talk about image structure.
Something I want to talk
Yeah.
about something. It's
Yeah.
something that's been coming up recently. Like, you know, um, people have this image of me, like I am the perfect granddaughter, that, maybe they have exaggerated views of what I haven't done for them.
Yeah.
And it just became very, very apparent. And I was like, okay, they are like totally blowing it up and they are totally exaggerating it. And at the same time,
Yeah.
uh, making, not acknowledging what my sibling has been and done. And
Yeah.
um, so it was kind of conflicting that, should I just receive their image of me without a point of view about it, or clarify that image?
Yeah. So that, and that's a great question. It's like, can you ever change the image that others have of you? Oh, you can. Oh, I love that you're thinking about it. Oh, that is so cute. That is humanoid. Because really, truth, like, can you ever, like, and how many of you have
No,
tried?
they will view you the way they want.
Yeah. And you may succeed a little bit for a little bit of time. And but if they're choosing to function and they, function from just having image of people, they're going to come back to another image.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it'll be basically like, okay, you're like, no, don't see me as a perfect granddaughter, and then you'll get to change that image, and then you're like, I'm this, but then the only way they know how to see people is by making an image of them, like how you take a Polaroid shot of them, and you take a Polaroid, and that is what they want to have. So
Can I say
you know
something?
1 second, honey, let me just finish this
Yeah,
conversation, and
okay, I
then
thought you finished. Sorry.
yeah, no, I'm still talking. Thank you, Mamta. Okay, so Abir, yeah, so that is one thing. Abe, so how many of you are working hard to change image for other people? Little bit? I don't
Lot.
see a lot. Okay, cool. Is that working? How's that working?
Painful.
Yeah.
Pointless.
Even Mamta's like, yeah, no. Okay, cool. So everything that is sometimes, so everywhere you're trying to create change in your reality by changing your image in other people's worlds. Can you please give it up? It's okay. There is an easier way to handle this and still have your reality. Okay, everything that brought up, can we please destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all night shows, words. This is the part where we go with trying to do things the hard way, like
and then I think I just became aware that there are times when I do things just to defy the image that people have of me.
yeah, that's another thing, right? You'll either align and agree with the image,
Yeah.
or you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god. And it's like, if you're a true blue humanoid, more than once in a while, you'll be like, that's it. I like you, I adore you, I care for you, but trying to fit into the image that you have of me is killing me. Now I'm just literally going to do something that will break that image right away, or so it's like, and then we have our adventurous ways of going with that. Another way is just your acknowledgement that, oh, okay, this is how they see me as. Or it's like, how many of you are, when people in your life after you've like changed in access and you've started to have more clarity about you, how many people around you actually look at you as if they're confused now? And then how many times do you find yourself going into trying to take care of that confusion so you can tell them who you are, but actually, can you tell them who you are? No, you can't. So how many of you are trying to live by transactions of images? Here, this is my image, you can keep this. It's like giving your photograph to someone, like, here, this is my image. Or like, so how many of you are living by that? Can you give it up? Everything that is Hemsakal Salim, can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, another thing that you can do is like, when you get aware that people are functioning from image, that is when your best friend is interesting point of view, not from a space of an interesting point of view. Again, I will say this, is when you're doing interesting point of view, as if like, oh, interesting point of view, you have this point of view, this is so weird and so unconscious or whatever, like trying to make it wrong. That is not interesting point of view, first of all, in the first place. Okay, but interesting point of view is being an allowance of what they are choosing and still choosing to be you. And what happens is when you keep doing that, that image that people have of you people have a hard time holding on to that image. But if you keep reacting to the image that people have of you, guess what you're doing? Then they have two images of you, the good you and the bad you, and then you can never be anything else. So what if, so everything that is the Godzilla, everything that brings up, can you please destroy it and create it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, all night, shorts, boys and beyonds. I'm going to take, Abir, is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take Mamta's question, and then I kind of want to do this a little bit of things energetically. Mamta, go ahead. What's your question?
You said that can we change the image, right, of others? I
Yeah.
think it is to some extent. If they got an image of
Yeah.
some particular religion,
Yeah.
I cannot change.
Yeah.
If they got an image of that, say a girl can go for this, I can't change.
Yeah.
I can change for myself, but not for others.
Yeah. And you can always do it for yourself, because
Yourself, yeah.
yeah, you always, and that's the thing. It's like the only way to ever change. You can do, but the question at that time I was asking was, can you change image for other people? Can you ever, because what you will do is like, I have some relatives who have like a certain image of Bombay, and who have certain image of women should get married, and I am like the living, and that was not how I desired that, this is how I'm going to be a rebel in their life, by like choosing not to get married. But like for me,
There
I'm
is
like,
an image that Bombay girls are very smart.
oh, very smart. Well, I'm also half from Delhi, so it's like, I don't know, and I'm also a little bit from America, so figure that out and try to put that in an image. But and it's like, they also have, for them, like, a woman who's not choosing to get married, and a woman who's okay. Actually, it's one thing, a woman who's not married, but if she is like, oh, I'm really sad, find me a guy and blah blah blah, like, and I'm not doing that drama. So it's like, just to be relaxed in my world and to have the world the way it is for me today, is like, it doesn't match their image. Okay, so then they have to find another image. Okay, so then they came up with another image that, oh, maybe something is wrong with Shivam, like she can't, maybe something medically is wrong with Shivam, that's what she's not telling us. So that kind of flew for a while. Okay, then they were like, okay, she is actually in healing line, that is very funny, so she works for, and then I helped some of them through their illnesses, and they were like, okay, so health is not an issue. So now again, I can see when they meet me, their brains are churning, and they're like, now what image of hers do we try to do? Because they function from a reality of like, so like, they are changing the images they have of people, but it's always in favor of another next image, and that's something that is their choice to function from. Now, does that mean that I go like, okay, goodbye, like, I don't want to talk to you again? No, not really. I can still have fun with them. Just only thing is acknowledgement, and then interesting point of view. Interesting point of view really helps a lot with images and dealing with images and how those kind of things. Okay, cool. How are you guys? Let me also, like, unless like someone else has another question or something, I kind of want to do like, just go ahead and lower your barriers if you know how to do that. Okay, and I would like you to lower your barriers and expand out and kind of just receive this energy. And with this energy, like, okay, so how many images do you actually have that you don't even know you have? that are keeping you locked from being you. And how many mirror images and mirror realities and smoky realities are you using so people can never figure you out? So people can never judge you. So one of the ways to do that is a lot of people do smoky realities. So you can't be found. So how much are you trying to keep yourself as a mystery? So people don't find you and people don't judge you. But guess what happens? Then you kind of are lost in your own world. But when you truly be you, you are universe's one of the most amazing mysteries on the planet as is. So what if you can? And what if, and now, and since we started with this whole conversation about consciousness, connect with consciousness the way you know how, whatever your unique, beautiful way is. Somebody's bird is chirping, and I love that sound, except that it's going to annoy a lot of you when you hear the recording. Whoever has a chirpy bird in their background, can we include the birds in, please? And all of those. Wow. I can't find that. Does anyone know where the chirpy bird is coming from? Hey, guy. Oh, Nita Srivastav. Okay, nice. Cute. Okay, and contribute to the board energetically, and that's how energetic communications are. They don't have to have a voice or audibility with it, but just go ahead and receive whatever the board has to gift us about consciousness. And so connect with consciousness the way you know how, either through your body, through your feet, through earth, through the sky, through trees. And lower your barriers. And now pull wherever you get the sense consciousness is. Now pull it towards you, towards your body. Okay. Go ahead and pull, lower your barriers and pull towards your body. All right. And and now, like as you pull it towards your body, expand it into your house. Your life, your relationships, and anywhere you're trying to do control, anywhere and it's not about you're wrong, you're so bad that you're doing control. It's okay. That's, I get it that you're trying to create change. So anything that you're trying to create change in your life, whichever area and all the areas, just allow consciousness to flood that area without any point of view of how, when. Just allow loads and loads and loads of consciousness to flood and keep filling it. You can do that with multiple things simultaneously. And also get a sense of people who have been unkind to you, who have been rude to you, who don't see the beauty that you are. It's okay. And all the barriers that you have erected to protect yourself from them, if you are not comfortable lowering those barriers, it's okay. Go ahead and melt let those barriers just soften a little bit and melt a little bit. And now you don't have to choose to interact with those people. If they're out of your life, that's fine. If they're in your life, that's fine. But what you always have a choice is not to do exclusion with them. Because when you do exclusion with people, you exclude you. So let consciousness fill your space with them. Loads, 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 more, more, more. Better. And more, and more, and more. And now get the sense of any area in your life where you have stress, where you're stressed about. Maybe you're not feeling the stress right now, and that's great, but where in the morning you were stressed about something. What were you stressed about? What were you anxious about? Get us, and now allow consciousness to pour in, whatever that is, whether be it to do with banks, to do with money systems, jobs, health, relationship, house, hopes and dreams. Just let consciousness pour in into that. Loads, loads, heaps and heaps and heaps of consciousness. Like every molecule filled with consciousness, and the spaces between the molecules filled with consciousness, and like loads and loads and loads and loads of consciousness. Whatever your worry is, whatever is making you sad, whatever is not creating joy for you, whatever is hurting your feelings, whatever is creating a pain in your body, just loads and loads and loads. Just let consciousness pour, flood. Yeah. Okay. How are you guys? Now you can open your eyes if you have your eyes closed. Just relax, and that whole space, that get that energy of that you're relaxed, how relaxed you are, and see how much more you can relax. Okay, it may be that, you know, when whatever that relaxation is, let your body show you. It's relaxation is not just about how it's showed in yoga or like slumping. Like this is not relax. Okay, relax is relaxed. Okay, so get in that space, and with that, gently open your eyes. And
Thank you, Shiva.
you are welcome, darling. Thank you. How are you guys? What contribution can I be to you? How can I help?
So very grateful to you, Simultaneity.
Oh, I'm
As if
so
you were just
grateful.
doing it for me. Thank you so much.
Big hug, sweetheart. Big,
The
big, big
moment
hug.
I said there, I started burping. My body was just burping continuously.
Oh, oh.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm so happy. How are the rest of you guys?
Feeling expanded in light. Feeling expanded.
Nice. How does it get
I
better?
was in contraction about 2-3 things in the morning,
Yeah,
which were worrying me.
yeah.
I think it's less.
And that's the thing. It's like, even if you can't come up with like, okay, what is the latest tool, or what do I do, in which class, who do I talk to? It's okay. Consciousness has your back. You are consciousness. You know, it's not. I mean, I know so many people, and it's like, even I have been in that space. But guys, you don't have to make anyone the source. Everyone is literally just here exploring along with you. And sometimes they may have something to contribute, but even if you can't think of anyone who can contribute, consciousness can. And just like every day, just ask consciousness, show me the way. Like, even if you're angry, even if you're like, damn it, show me the fucking way, whatever, like, it's okay. Just show me the way. Show me the way. Show me the way. That's the most beautiful thing. I mean, and do you get like how brave, how courageous you all are for receiving this as a conversation and receiving this as a tool? And that is what creates a change in the world. You choosing this tool in your life. It's like, it is such a gift to Mother Earth. So what acknowledgement what acknowledgement have you not given yourself because no one else has been able to give to you so far? Everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, receive, perceive that, can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What beyond this reality acknowledgement of ease, joy, glory, and beauty you have not given yourself because no one could give to you. And you thought, well, if no one could, then it must not be true. And how much of that is actually a lie? Everything that doesn't allow you to know, be, receive, perceive that, can you please destroy and uncreate it all, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What beyond this reality acknowledgement of magic, miracles, mysteries, and possibilities that you have been all your life, that you be for all eternity, that you can give now to you. Everything that doesn't allow you to be the space of infinite gratitude, infinite receiving, infinite kindness, infinite caring for you, which pretty much includes the whole world anyways. Would you please destroy and uncreate it all, right or wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what images are you trying to fulfill rather than give yourself the acknowledgement that you are infinite magic, infinite miraculousness, infinite possibilities. You are the home of infinite possibilities. So everything that I brought up, can you please destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pop, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And any hardship that shows up in life, like what if you can ask for miracles to show up, ask for consciousness to show you the way. And even if you're like, I don't even know what the way is, I don't even know what the next step is, just relax and just let consciousness pour in and give you a big hug. Yeah, exactly like that. Let consciousness pour in, hug you, embrace you. Just allow consciousness to embrace you. You are far more beautiful and magical than you have allowed yourself to be. And it's like, how much do you take? I mean, how do you get like how rare it is for rest of the people to have that kind of access to consciousness, and how easy it was for each one of you here. The minute we started talking about like, let consciousness flood in, and you were like, oh, I could do that. And you got it. That's the magic you be. And that is so rare. So have you acknowledged yourself for how unique, how different you are? And it's a difference, not from like, others don't have it, so I'm similar. And I know that you don't choose that. I mean, none of you guys have the energy where you choose the superiority of it. And you don't have to be the savior, but you choosing to be the magic that you are is the biggest gift you can be to your kids. Everyone knows how to teach their children to do drama and trauma, right? Our parents taught us, but what would you like to teach? But children don't, by the way, it's like, have you noticed that children don't learn from what you tell them? They learn from your actions, from the choices you make. And if they have a parent who is choosing to have their back, regardless of what is showing up in relationships around them, what did you just teach your child? That they can have that as a future for themselves too. Or would you like your children to have a future where they are divorcing themselves to make everyone else happy? I hope not. And I kind of guess you probably don't, because a lot of you are like, no, you know what? I have done it and I know I can do it, but this stops with me. I want my children to have their life. I want my children to be them. I want my children to choose joy for them, no matter what shows up. Guess what? If that is what you desire, ask yourself, are you choosing that? Because you choosing that is going to be the greatest inspiration for your child. And if you have not chosen it, and if it's difficult for you to choose it, please don't go into the wrongness of you that, oh my God, I'm a terrible parent. I've not only ruined my life, I've ruined my child's life. Everything that brings up, can you please destroy it and create it all? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pork, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. How are you guys? Anything? Any questions? Anything coming up? All right. Okay. If there are no other questions, then I'm going to end this call. Because I kind of have run out of things to talk about. My brain is a little bit melty right now. Oh, yes. By the way, guys, I would love for you all to have recordings of this call if you want, if you desire it. And the recordings will be posted on the Unstoppable You Facebook group that I have. Most of you are part of it. It's Unstoppable You Facebook group, and I will be posting the recordings there as in the Dropbox link for a week, and then you can go ahead and download from there. I kind of don't enjoy like posting the link on WhatsApp chats and everything, and I personally would have liked if I think this is what I'm going to do next time onwards. And this time I think I really got lazy. I just finished like foundation for a family of 5 people. There was a 70-year-old lady and her 2 sons and 2 daughters-in-law. And it was so funny. Like they all spoke English, but they were like, you know what? And then I started, talking to them in Hindi, started having a conversation in Hindi. They were like, can you please, it's like, and then the class just turned from English foundation to Hindi foundation. And it was like so amazing because, and they were like, it was so amazing for them because they were like, you know what, all of this, I don't think I would have understood in English the way it is like, explained in your mother tongue. And that was like so funny. But it's like, yeah. And in all of that, like I kind of forgot to create a registration link. So moving forward, I will be creating registration link for each month's calls, and I will be posting it on the Unstoppable You. That's mainly the place to go because sometimes I forget to post it on WhatsApp chats. And what else is possible, guys? Be you. And what if you never have to create an image? What if you never have to maintain an image, deliver an image, and just ask consciousness to show you the way? Okay. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Mwah.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
See
dear.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Thank you so much.